Let's go to Cathy in Cambridge. Hey, Cathy, what's going on?
Hey, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you
Cathy.
been?
Good. How are you guys?
We're doing
I
good.
heard you talking about Regina's the other night.
I know.
I'm so hungry for lunch right now. We can't talk about Regina's.
I know. I wish we had one of those teleporters. We could just hit a button and we'd be right to Regina's. And folks, if you never...
I could FedEx you down a couple.
I know.
Seriously.
I might take you up on that.
We need Amazon to improve their game. I need today delivery for Pizzeria Regina from Boston.
Don't we?
See if we can get Bezos
Seriously.
on that.
We flash freeze them and send them all over the place.
Right?
No, that's where it's at. Hey, you stay right there. And guess what? It's St. Patrick's Day again. The market's all green.
Yeah, right.
Darrell Martin, Tommy O'Brien. Tom O'Brien. We're going to be coming right back, folks. Dow's up 16, NADEX up 3, S&P's up $1.50. We're going to be right back. Welcome back. We're talking with Cathy from Cambridge.
Before we jump to her, though, quick update. We had our man Mike from Somerville call in, and he closed out the trade, so everybody can rest easily.
And he's on his way to Regina's.
That's perfect. Right?
He's only in Somerville. He's right next to it, man.
Sure.
Perfect.
He's next to it. He is right next to it.
Exactly.
I took the same trade 2 days ago. This NADEX platform is a pretty cool thing.
Isn't it?
I have a... If you have to take your money, I have figured that out.
Yes.
Okay? Otherwise, if you wait till the end, it can all disappear. Like all of a sudden, everything goes blank, and you have no position value.
Well, when I said to Tommy in the break, I saw your name up there, and we hadn't heard from you a while, and I know you're an options trader anyway, and I couldn't wait to hear what you were going to say, because what does happen, folks, okay, it's a defined option. That's what you're trading.
Sure.
And once you understand them, it's not easy, but your probability goes up more because you understand that just because that money's there doesn't mean it's going to be there at that time frame.
I mean,
well, and most option traders don't hold their positions until expiration.
Right.
I mean, this is such a perfect example.
They forget that idea whenever they go to trade on NADEX because it's a daily expiration, or a 2-hour expiration, and it's like, you ask most options, because I remember one guy going, well, I don't hold my trade until expiration. I'm like, so why would you do it here?
Yeah,
right.
I mean, this call was a perfect example. 95 cents on the dollar when you're talking about an $8 move in gold on a day like today when there might be some volatility, and just if you want to make that, that's fine, but really analyze that. Do you want to put up $19 for every $1 in profit right now with only an $8 move against you? I don't think most people would in that situation when they made that trade, maybe so.
Well, I just closed out mine. I paid $32 for them and sold them for $95, so that was pretty cool.
Good for you.
That's huge. There's no doubt. And what I've seen, Cathy, which I really dig, I mean, to me, it was interesting. We were talking with Al from Houston. There's still, and not that he wasn't bearish, but there are plenty of people that are still really bearish in the metal market, and I'm really digging it because what seems to happen is that they haven't. Well, the market, the volatility in gold is whatever it is, but it's been a low volatility trade when gold can move like this. And that's what I really like about it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Now that will change. It changed
today. If it starts jumping around a lot, there'll be more premium in there for sure. Yeah.
So.
Well, it tells you everything you're going to get or lose or whatever right up front when you make the trade.
Exactly.
When you put it up. But I understand what Mike was saying about getting out.
No, and that's all. It's just be educated. And I like making trades like that. Like you make a risk reward. You can do that, right? The other side is you make a risk reward analysis at one point in time. You know that I'm willing, holding this to expiration. So maybe part of that, and you're comfortable at that point, and you don't want to be constantly evaluating it. Maybe you're making. So that has merit. It's just that it sounded. Mike obviously he would have taken that money at that point, and that's why.
$5.
On the phone. The phone platform that he's talking about is difficult because when you hit it, it opens a chart. You know what I mean? So you have to kind of go backwards and get your way through it to get to your ticket.
Right. Yeah, so just make sure you're used to it, right? That's and you can always practice on the demo because that's what most people, as I would be, you're apprehensive too, and that's all. You know what I mean? Because you think if you're not certain, pressing that button, you want to be certain of what exactly is happening.
Oh, I've done it.
I'm not comfortable being as uncertain as you are sometimes hitting buttons.
I have absolutely closed trades when I thought I was just
maybe
buying
that's
more.
why I've seen you do it, and I check things 3 times instead before.
Right.
Well, at least they're not. Like you said, you can risk 100 to make 1,500 if you're going in the right direction.
Right.
You know,
for sure.
No.
For sure. And especially when you get some of those where really you're talking about really up to expiration, you know, where, you know, the dailies maybe with 2 hours left, if you can ever get an end of the day move, or some of those, you know, where they have ones that expire 11 a.m., 12, you know, if you're...
I love those, man.
Yeah, because that's where you really can pay a small amount of premium if you get a big move in your direction, for sure.
Right. Well, 2 days, not yesterday, but the day before, when the market tanked. At the end of the day, that was like, it was incredible. It was just anything you did, you made money on.
You did.
When you get big moves, what'll happen is every binary that they even offer will get cleaned out, because basically the move is, you know, bigger than whether it's, you know, and I'm sure, Darrell, you can speak to the deviations, but they're, you know, 1-2 deviation moves where basically they're they're clearing out every binary that they've offered. And I've pulled up before. Remember I said to you, I said, man, you could have chosen any binary on that list and you would have been profitable.
Right. But I mean, sometimes, like, I'm looking at it right now. I have one on with the small cap.
Okay.
And it just keeps going blank. You know, the position value goes from minus 200 to 0. You know what I mean? Like, because there's no position value. And, and like the other day, I waited till the end of the day and watched my account. Just all of a sudden, there was like, you know, I had $500 in position value, but then 2 minutes later, there was 0. Because it was the binaries that they die at the end of the day. I guess they just have nothing.
And I think it's towards, like, at least the last minute in particular, I think they...
That's right.
Last 2 minutes on some contracts and last, like, 30 seconds on some. But that's not... But that's just no market maker making a quote. So that means a trader doesn't have a quote up, a market maker doesn't have a quote up.
because you can have a bid and an offer.
It hasn't really, like, lost its value.
Right.
It's just there's no... body to take the other side of the trade.
It's really, there's so much volatility.
If it's in the money and it's still in the money at expiration, it's still going to be there.
There's so much volatility the way that, especially if it's oscillating around a price point, that's where I think it's just almost difficult to price that accurately with a small tradable bid offer.
It is.
With like 30 seconds left to expiration, and you're talking about
it's a probability.
Right,
you know, it's like, I mean, how do you have a probability? You know, like, so, you know, like I said, some of them are 2 minutes, some of them are 30 seconds, but it's just market makers. I mean, they say, and it says in the, you know, the agreement that market makers can pull their, at a certain, like, before news, just like, you know, in any.
And again, it's just being informed. As long as you know it, it's not a big deal, right?
Right, you haven't lost money, but you don't have the ability to get out unless there's another trade or...
Realistically, you probably shouldn't be playing that game and trying to get out with 30 seconds. You know, make your decision before that
before those
time.
Final 2 minutes at least.
Right.
I like to trade I usually just trade the end of the day, so like an hour, you know, half an hour.
Nice.
Right
That's why I mentioned those last 2 hours, because that's where you can really get some nice risk rewards if you get a move in your direction.
And you know,
the beginning and end, the beginning of the market and the end of the market in the day.
Yeah,
movement.
With NADEX, I find is the best way to make it.
Because the other thing, what I do sometimes is I trade the ones that go from 8 a.m. till 10 a.m. And you get the market open there, and maybe you get into them at 9:15.
Right.
That's
Yeah, but sometimes there's just not enough. They're really expensive sometimes if you wait that close, I find. I mean, what I look at anyways. But the end of the day, I find to be the fastest movement, you know, and with the spring market up here, we only have about an hour a day where I can actually look at this stuff. I like the NADEX a lot. I dabbled with this place over in this offshore one for about a year. Made a ton of money in it. Yeah, I made a ton of money in it, but now I'm trying to get my money. You know?
Man.
So they sent me back the money I invested, but now I'm trying to get the other money that I made. And I find that, you know, when they suck you in for cheap money, and then they want you to put in more money, and then they give you a bonus, and then you got to work your way through the bonus. And I did all that, and I made big money on that with that last summer. And now, like I said, I'm just trying to get my money back from them.
Yeah. So this is folks. Okay. So
crazy.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate that feedback. We're gonna explain the difference as soon as we're gonna explain the difference as soon as we come back. That's a great story, though, Cathy. Cathy, it's great hearing from you. Go eat a great Gina's pizza for us and think about us.
Oh yeah.
We all love it.
Totally.
Have a great one. You stay right there, folks. Darrell, Tommy, and myself will come right back. Welcome back, folks. Tommy O'Brien, Darrell Mott, and Tom O'Brien. We do appreciate there's a growl and a problem with us. You know, we were just talking with Cathy, folks, and she was explaining that she was trading with
Offshore.
Offshore. And so the NADEX platform, folks, okay.
And let's just read through it because we read through it over the break, you know, and it just makes it nice and clear. Binary options are legal and available to trade in the U.S. only on a CFTC-regulated U.S. exchange. NADEX is designated by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission as a designated contract market for derivatives clearing, and it's basically saying that they're regulated. Some online binary option providers may not be properly registered and regulated. I'm assuming that that's what she's talking about, right?
Well, and they'll say they're regulated, but it's like with some like Better Business Bureau of Cyprus.
I'm sure, right?
Thing.
Yeah. The devil's in the details, man. Always.
Well, they have no clause. You know, that's like the Better Business Bureau. Like, somebody can complain to them, but nobody goes and checks them until after the fact.
And they're not regulated, so it says they're based outside the U.S.
They can't put people in jail. They can't fine people.
They operate outside of the U.S. law and may hold member funds in various types of offshore accounts. They cannot legally offer binary options to retail customers, and it's the internet. You know, there's a lot of customer things that you can buy overseas that aren't regulated, that are offshore, that whatever, you know, that don't comply with regulations.
And so
buyer beware, unfortunately, you know, that's what's going to happen. You know, that's what's going to happen. Hopefully, you know, if the company, what happens there is if the company wants to stay in business, not that it's a Ponzi scheme, but what they end up doing is you have to be returning it, but at some point that's going to fall out, and hopefully she can get her money back before, or the money out, before they the chips tumble. Right.
And so to cut to the chase, folks, okay, what ends up happening on the NADEX platform, you put money in, you want to get money out, guess what? It is so quick, it's amazing. You hit one little button, and it's out, and if you already set up the thing, it's in your account like a day and a half later.
Or same day. And if you do wire, I can click, like I literally click my account, withdraw, wire.
Right.
I type in the amount, I choose what bank account I want it to go to.
Right.
I hit submit.
Yeah.
I can do this on my mobile phone or on the web, and that day, as long as I do it by 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do the ACH, so I think that takes a day and a half or something.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Exactly. ACH is fast. Wire. I mean, if you want it same day, just to like show the point of there's no wishy-washy. You know, check lost in the mail, whatever. I mean,
that's scary
if you
stuff,
want it same day, you can
of,
have it same day.
You know, part of trading is knowing your risks, right? And hopefully, Cathy knew that one of the risks in that equation was ever getting your money out.
Well, and guess what? Now she's going to make a fortune this summer on the NADEX platform. And she'll really get her money.
Exactly.
She'll take us all to the Four Seasons.
No, what happened to Regina's? What happened to Regina's?
Well,
we'll go order like 20 pizzas at Regina's.
We'll get in the lobby of the Four Seasons and
eat Regina's there.
And have some Chevys. We're gonna call Jay. Get Jay down here. We're gonna have some Chevys, man.
Too funny, man. Too funny.
Oh.